Hello, my name is Armando. This is the Bible in 5 years. Welcome. We are reading through the Bible in chronological order. It's about 236 or more biblical stories that we're going to be reading. It's going to take us about a year and a half or more. After that, we will continue to read the Bible in a different format, but it's always short and sweet. We don't read chapters here, two or three, no, like the Bible in 1 year. No, I respect those programs, they're great, but we only read verses here, 5, 10, 12, up to 42 verses tops. And some chapters have 16 verses, 18, but we're trying to avoid to read 2 or 3 chapters, no, because we're trying to keep it in stories. And this is aimed for this podcast project is aimed for the one and not for the 99. So it's aimed for those who haven't read the Bible. They don't know what the Bible says. They probably don't care about what the Bible says, but they said, well, there's a video, less than 10 minutes. Let's see what the Bible says. Let's see what story they're talking about. And you're going to find yourself maybe in Genesis or Job or Psalms or Matthew or, the different books of the Bible, because there is 66 different books in the Bible. So that's how it is. And what else? A couple episodes ago, maybe 3 episodes ago, we were in the book of Job, which is in the middle of the Bible, and we're back to Genesis. And that thing right behind me, those who are watching video, one of my lights. I can't do anything about it. Maybe I could, but I just can't. All right, let's change our music for reading. Today is day 60. From Shem to Abram and Terah's family. This is Genesis 11, and let's see what it says. This is the history of Shem's family. When Shem was 100 years old, his son Arphaxad was born. This happened 2 years after the flood. After the birth of Arphaxad, Shem lived another 500 years and had other sons and daughters. When Arphaxad, that's an interesting name, Arphaxad, was 35 years old, his son Shelah was born. After the birth of Shelah, Arphaxad lived another 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Shelah was 30 years old, his son Eber was born. After the birth of Eber, Shelah lived another 403 years and had other sons and daughters. Man, they lived a long time back then, huh? When Eber was 34 years old, his son Peleg was, Peleg with a G at the end, was born. After the birth of Peleg, Eber lived another 430 years, 430 years, and had other sons and daughters. And when Peleg was 30 years old, his son Reu was born. After the birth of Reu, Peleg lived another 209 years and had other sons and daughters. When Reu was 32 years old, his son Serug was born. After the birth of Serug, Reu lived another 207 years and had other sons and daughters. When Serug was 30 years old, his son Nahor was born. After the birth of Nahor, Serug lived another 200 years and had other sons and daughters. When Nahor was 29 years old, his son Terah was born. After the birth of Terah, Nahor lived another 119 years and had other sons and daughters. When Terah was 70 years old, he became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. This is the history of Terah's family. Terah was the father of Abram. Later on, he became Abraham, but not yet. Spoiler alert. Nahor and Haran. And Haran had a son named Lot. Woo. But while Haran was still young, he died in Ur of the Chaldeans, the place of his birth. He was survived by Terah, his father. Meanwhile, Abram married Sarai, and his brother Nahor married Milcah, the daughter of their brother Haran. Oh my, he married his niece. Well, in those days it was normal. Milcah had a sister named Iska. You know, these names are difficult. I even have heard Christians who've been pastors and all that, and they have a hard time naming these names. I'm telling you. So don't think that this is besides me knowing how to read. These names are difficult, even for native speakers of English, because they're no English. They're Middle Eastern names. Now Sarai was not able to have any children. Terah took his son Abram, his daughter-in-law Sarai, and his grandson Lot, his son Haran's child, and left Ur of the Chaldeans to go to the land of Canaan. But they stopped instead at the village of Haran and settled there. Terah lived for 205 years and died while still at Haran. I find this really interesting, this last part. The Terah took his son Abram and his daughter-in-law and his grandson Lot, and they left their homeland, Ur of the Chaldeans, to go to the land of Canaan. And I have heard growing up God talked to Abram, and he did also, to leave his family and go to Canaan. But it started with his dad. That's what I'm trying to make an emphasis here. That his dad left their homeland to go to Canaan, but they stopped instead at the village of Haran. So they didn't go all the way to Canaan. They stopped at Haran, and that's when God spoke to Abram to continue basically and settle there. And so they settled in Haran. And then Terah lived another 205 years and died while still at Haran. That's the end of our reading today. And thank you for listening to the Bible in 5 years. We are in YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify. Like and subscribe. This is aimed for the 1, not for the 99. But you're welcome to listen even if you're from the 99. And we will continue to do this until many moons, many days, many years. All right, see you tomorrow.